So just to review, let's review in case anyone's forgotten the things that we've talked about. Let's review. Where'd my marker go? There it is. Let's review. Okay, so we started talking about lists, right? Lists and elements and indexes. Okay, so I create something. Let's do my numbers again. So I have my number. Okay, so what are these called right here? Elements. Okay, the stuff inside our list are elements. Okay, now if we're trying to tell the computer where to go look for them, so remember my filing system I had up here? What are those called? Indexes. Okay, indexes. And what is this whole thing called? A list, right? A list. Okay, now what is this supposed to replace? What is this supposed to help us alleviate in our code? Okay, so look at this. Look at this right now. Let me rewrite it again. So if I had what does this look like right now, the way I have it right now? Like if it was in a computer, if it was in a code, what would this look like to you? A variable, a variable. So we are using lists to replace variables, all those extra variables. Because remember, a lot of you on your program have that stack of variables at the very top in your combo menu, the combo menu. Or 500 lines of code? Or 300 lines of code? Yes, I even used the two of you as an example in my 8-hour class. They were like, someone used 300 lines of code, and I said, there was even someone who used 500. So. But, anywho, I did tell them that it was really good. I told them, it was really good. Like, it had all kinds of, professional stuff on it, and it was, really, nice and sweet, and the computer was talking to you and everything, so it was kind of cool. But anyway, so this right here, number_list, is assigned the value of this list here. This here, a number list, would be a variable that holds the list. Okay? So when you're typing something, so if you're programming something, and it says print number_list, and you put the brackets around it, and you put in the number 1. What is that going to print? The number 2. Okay? The number 2. Because why is it going to print 2 and not 1? Because the indexes start at 0. Okay? And they go 1, 2, 3, 4, ... What happens if I did this? What's it going to print? If I added a negative, it's going to print the 5 because it wraps back around. Okay, there is no such thing as a -0. Yes. I had an argument with that in the period. Yes.
So in different programming languages, does the index start in different places?
The index will always start in the same place. This is like over here. So the index will always start over here. However, in other programming languages, it may not, the negative side may not work. Okay? So in Python this works, but it may not work in Java or C++ or anything like that. Okay? It just depends. So the negative signs do not work everywhere. But these are pretty normal throughout. Okay? Good? I know it's like this in Java for sure. I don't know about C++, but I know that the Java does the count 0, 1, 2, 3. that way.
I believe C++ does start at 1.
C++ starts out with index 1?
I have been asked some of my friends who do coding stuff like this.
Okay. So, and what we've done here is we've eliminated a line of code because we could have, what we could have done is we could have said, like, we had the first food item, so we had first number equals number list, not equals, inside the value. Number, I can't, yeah. Okay, and then have the print. Print first number, right? But that's extra work that we have to do, right? That's extra stuff that we have to do, yes? So we can totally eliminate this line here, just put in that right there. Okay, do you all remember that from last time? Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that's kind of a review of what we did last time. So everyone's still good on this stuff. Everyone's still fabulous. Fabulous.
95%.
95%. Okay, what's the 5%?
I just say that because it's fun.
Okay. All right. Okay, so moving on. So in our, when we looked at this before, we started out with, where's my code that we had? We had the code, this code up here. So we had, I gotta switch over because I keep writing food, assign the value of the list, burger, shakes, fries. Remember, this is how you identify a list, the square brackets, okay? Not parentheses, they're square brackets, okay? Square brackets. All right, so let's review this. I know we stopped and we did this one. We kind of did this, right? The if-then statements, okay? So the idea is that when we're using Boolean operators in a list, in right here is a special word in Python, okay? So kind of like the functions Python has built in already. The functions that I showed you that big list of functions that Python has. Python has specific words that are meant for something. So you can't ever use the word in for something unless it's in a string, okay? Because it's gonna tell Python to go look in something. Okay, does that make sense? So that's why it says Sunday in food. So here's food, right? This is food. This is a variable food. So would Sunday, which one of those would it print? If it's looking for Sunday in this list here. Sorry, we don't carry Sunday. Sorry, we don't carry Sundays. What would happen if I changed this to burger? What would it print? If I change Sundays to burger. One burger coming up. Yep. Okay. So this one here says to add code that checks pizza. I don't want to scroll back up because then you guys can see the answers from last time. Because the class got farther. But what's it going to print out if I ask for pizza? What?
Sorry, we don't carry pizza.
Okay, very good. Sorry, we don't carry pizza. So if you have something, an if-else statement, where you can actually go and look for something in the list. Okay. Does everyone understand that? Okay. So, so what I want you to do before you, as part of your code check on this, you're going to add the code to check pizza. Okay. Make sure you're adding the code to check these and screenshot it. So this one way up here that I'm gonna try to go really fast and not show you, but it didn't work because now it's stuck. That one right there, you're gonna go up, you're gonna include this code right here to check that pizza's on the list and then screenshot it. And save it. So you can turn it into me when we're done. So when I say turn in all your code from 3.2.1, then that's what you're gonna turn in. Okay. So you can also, on number 13 is asking you to add some comments to your code to help identify what you have learned about lists, such as print, food, -1, and then hashtag prints the last element of the list, food. So you guys can make some, go ahead and take the time to make some little comments in your code that tell you what to do, like which are the elements, which are the indexes, which are the, what does -1 print, that kind of stuff. So take a minute and do that. I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. I'll pause the recording while you guys are doing that, so. Okay, so moving on. All right, so moving on. So here's the list of keywords that are in Python. Okay, these are the words that are reserved with a predefined purpose. Okay, so this contains a list of keywords for Python 3. So keep in mind that these are words that are specifically used for something in Python in regards to coding. That means that if you decided to use one of these things as a variable or some kind of, or something, it's not going to let you do it. Okay. So don't ever use these words as something that you want to like for a variable or a data type or something like that. The only way that you can use these words is if you put them in parentheses and quotations and use them as a string. Or some kind of output or something like that. Okay? Does that make sense? So these are special keywords. Okay. Let's take a quiz. Is everybody, let's go to 3.1.3, check for understanding. I don't know why this says 3.1.3. That's weird. They need to fix that. 3.2.1 is what that is supposed to be. Everyone here? Is everybody here? Okay. So, we are making a list of, I'm going to mix that up really good for you guys. Hang on a second. I feel like I'm doing like the 3-card draw thing or something. Okay. All right, so we are making a list of extracurricular activities at your school. The final step is to put them all into one list so you can search to find whether a particular extracurricular is offered at your school. The first 2 lines of code are provided. What is the correct order for the rest of the code to prevent an error message? So these are the first 2 lines of code. All right. It has given us the variable school sports is assigned the list soccer, football, dance. School clubs is assigned the value robots and yearbook. So what do we need to do next if we want to put all of this stuff in the same list? What do we need to do next? Assign the value, but yes, that would be next. Okay, then what's next? Yes. In list is assign the value hockey and all extracurriculars. And then obviously our print is the last one. So when you're combining lists like this, you can concatenate them. Okay. What's concatenation mean? What's concatenate mean? To group together. Okay. So you're gonna need this for the final. I'm working on the final right now. So y'all better, these are things that I'm trying to give you all big hints. Okay. So when you are joining different things together, it's concatenation. Okay. And you can tell you are concatenating something with a plus sign. Okay. You're putting two things together when you use a plus sign. Okay. So when this prints out, it's going to combine all of these together and it's going to change it. And this is going to be the list name. Okay. Are we good? Okay. Next. All right. Label time. Okay. So let's put these in the right spot. Where do they belong? What creates a new, well, actually, we just talked about the concatenates two lists. So tell me what concatenates two lists. Which one of those does that? Line 5. Okay. I'll move it down here so it doesn't tell me. Maybe I won't tell me wrong. Okay. What creates a new line of the output in the output? Line 1. Because it's going to print what? It's going to print a blank line. Okay. All right. What prints the length of a list? Line 7. Why do you say line 7? LEN means length. And then searches for a specific string in a list. Huh? Line 9 is hockey in the list. So based on the code below, what is the, I hope y'all are doing this because I'm gonna make you turn it in. Based on the code below, what is the activity that should be in the print statement on line 8? Okay, I'm counting to myself. Well, you figured that out faster than I can. I had to count it. Anyone else got an answer? Okay. Does everybody know how that's figured out? Okay, but no one's answering. So guys that are not answering and not looking at me, do you know how that's figured out?
Yes.
Well, you answered me. So do you need me to just tell you how that's figured out? Okay. All right, no problem. No problem at all. Okay, so we have the code and it's asking us to, it's saying that school sports is assigned the value of the list soccer, football, dance, and school clubs is assigned the value of the list robots and yearbook. So we know that those are our two variables, right? Those are two of our variables that have a list in them. Yes? Are we clear on that part?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next line of code is asking us to create a new variable called all extracurriculars. And what we're doing is we are concatenating the list. So we're taking, and if you look at the order of the list is important because it's going to take the list first and then this list second. Okay? So if it's got school clubs plus school sports, the school clubs list is going to be listed. So here we've got a list and it says, tell me what the robotics, what's the other one? What's after that? Soccer.
Football. And then dance.
Okay, so what it did is it took our list and it put it all together. Okay, because this line number 5, is telling us that we're going to put all extracurriculars in one list together. Okay, and school clubs has to come first because it's first on the list. It's first on the instructions. Are you guys with me so far?
I see it now.
Yeah. Okay. Now. Okay. So then we print our link, and then it's asking all extracurriculars, number 4. Activity is at index number 4. Okay, so what's this index number? What's this one?
1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that better now?
I started saying what you started.
Yeah. Okay. Does everybody understand how that's come about, though? Everyone got it? Okay. All right.
No, actually, it's not.
Okay. So dance. All right. Next one. What is the index number for soccer in school sports? In the school sports list? 0. Let's see if we got them right. You answered 3 of 4 correctly. It's probably this one. Yeah, because I didn't move it down. So,
I got all 4 right.
well, it's just because I didn't move it down. If I would have moved it down here where it wants it, then it would have been fine. Yeah. Okay. So, everyone, are we good? You guys understand how that all comes up?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So lists have behaviors. Okay. Lists are objects in Python, and objects are made from classes. All right. So we're learning a new term now. Classes. I know you don't hear enough of the word classes every day of your life, right? This means that all lists have behaviors, also known as methods, attached to them. Methods are functions that belong to a specific class. So review the table below to learn a couple of methods you can use with lists. Okay, so these are important because 1, they're going to be on the final, and 2, it's important for you to understand how to take, if you made a mistake, let's say, if I had a list that I created, like the school list, extracurricular activity list. So I had robotics, yearbook, beta club, and then another club that we don't have here at school, I don't know, political. Okay, so if I made a mistake on my list that I created, but I don't want to go back and have to redo everything, or if I want to add it into my code somewhere else, I can use one of these things like remove or append. Okay. So appending is adding something to the list. Okay. So you're adding an item to the end of the list. So where you put it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you put it in there. It's always going to be added to the end. So think about your list as a ...
I'm gonna apologize to
She's
you.
back on
I know. I'm gonna apologize to you guys because you had a change here without coffee, and that's my fault. I told her I made her sound like 30 minutes ago.
Thank you so much. Did you go see Luke first?
Yes.
Okay, I figured. I was like, did you bring me coffee? Will you let her come down here? He scared the heck out of me though when I turned around.
He's got a cool, superhero.
Oh, yeah. No, okay, but thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I appreciate it. So think about your list as having, a dot, dot, dot at the end, so it can continue. However, when you append something, when you're appending it, okay, when you're adding it to the list, it's automatically gonna go to the end of the list, okay? So if I have a 0, 1, 2, it's gonna create a number 4, and 5, and so on, okay? Good there? Okay, so if we're gonna remove something, it's gonna remove the first occurrence of the item from the list, okay? So what does that mean?
What's that?
Huh?
What's that?
It's coffee,
Ah,
coffee.
gross.
It's my coffee,
Coffee.
my coffee.
Got a coffee right up?
I used to work with some people in New York, so that's why I'm coffee.
Coffee.
Oh,
I love
All right.
that.
So, okay, so for removing the first occurrence of an item from the list, what it's gonna do is it's gonna go and it's gonna take, like if you have two, I don't know, so just for, if you had numbers, okay, because sometimes you have more than one set of numbers in the list, okay, so if you had numbers, more than likely you're not gonna have the same word twice. But if you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, what's it gonna remove? It's gonna remove this one,
That's right.
okay? It's gonna remove the first one. So keep that in mind. Okay? If you have double stuff. However, more than likely you're just gonna want to remove something from the list. Okay, the reason it tells you the first occurrence is because you may have more than one of the same thing in the list. Like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head while you do that right now, but, like, okay, if I did grades, and everybody had, some people get the same grade on assignment, right? So, if I have a list of grades, and I said remove this, it's gonna remove the first grade that has that number, or the first place, okay? But it won't remove any of the other ones. But that's just a way, it's just a way of removing something. So this is to add something to your list, and this is to remove something from your list. Okay? Got it? Now how do we write that? The code below appends an item to a customer's order after they have already chosen fries and a shake. Okay. So, this is what it would look like if you were to append something, okay, or to add something, or to remove something. Now, I can't speak today. I don't know. So in the first 3 lines here, it's got your customer order, which is fries and a shake, okay? However, if we want the customer to order something else, we're automatically telling the computer that as soon as the input's put in, to add that to this list up here.
Teachers and students, please pardon the interruption.
Yeah.
Any AP student, last names beginning T through Z, need to go to the seminar room at this time. Also, any other students or AP students that has not gone for the training, please go to the seminar room at this time. Thank you.
Is everybody good? Anybody to leave? Okay. All right. So, when this is printed out, it's going to put the input of whatever somebody puts in here, and it's going to automatically put it back in this one. Okay? Into this list. Are you guys with me here?
Yeah.
Okay. So all it's telling it to do is to take this variable here, and then add it to that list. Okay? Then, let's see. Oh yeah, it's asking for the syntax, so I'm telling you what it is. On this one, if I have print your order, customer order, then answer is assigned the value of whatever somebody puts in there, whatever they input. If the answer is yes, great, yours coming right up. Or else, if they say no, then it's telling it to remove something from the list, right? So if the person says no, then it will remove something from the list, okay? And then it will print your new order is. All right, so you want to try it and see what it does? See how it looks? This is something you can do in your menus, on your stuff. All right. So what else would you like to order? What else would we like to order, everybody? What else would we like to order? What?
A dog.
Not a dog. Hot dog. Oh. You ordered fries, shake, hot dog. Is your order correct? Is our order correct? No. Let's say no. No. Okay, I will remove hot dog from your order. Because it was the last thing that we put in. Are you guys confused? Is it confusing? Are you guys good? I can't tell because I don't know if y'all are just tired or you just tired of me talking. Tired, not tired of me talking though? Probably tired of me talking. You said yes?
No, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. Oh,
Yeah, time.
no. No, you caught me at the wrong time, man.
I heard you at the wrong time. I'm just messing with you. Okay, so again, this is how you add or remove an item. Okay, so if you are not specific about what so it's going to remove item because you told it that item is hot dog. Okay, you see where that's at? For those that don't want to speak up and tell me they don't understand. So it removed item because item is right here and we gave it the value hot dog whenever we typed in our input. So therefore, that's why it removed hot dog from our list. Right. Okay, anywho. This is Miss Cox. Okay, I'll let her know. Bye. Lily Hook, you are checking out at 11. That's just how she said it. So okay. So revisiting your combo menu. So we're gonna go back and take a look at our combo menu. I know y'all are so happy about that. Okay. And you're gonna fix it and make it better. And it's not gonna take too much time. You got all this hard stuff done. Now you just gotta go back and like simplify everything. You got the hard stuff done. I don't know. A lot of people thought it was hard. But I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with how everything turned out. You guys did really good and you made it work. And I mean, I think almost everybody's worked. Unlike our little robot dudes who didn't want to work for anyone. So, but yeah, you guys got this. You got the combo menu to work for the majority of you. So I'm pretty impressed. I'm actually really proud. Really proud. So it makes me feel good. All right. So, the combo menu you created in the last project used variables and conditionals to make decisions about outcomes based on what food and drink combinations were ordered. Now that you know about lists, you will make updates to the code and incorporate lists. All right. So using lists allows you to create a program that can allow customers to purchase more than just a single sandwich, a single drink, or a single order of fries. Output large orders with a single print function. Moreover, by tracking orders in a list, it is a more straightforward step to transfer that data into long-term storage databases to allow the following. The restaurant could benefit from storing lists of a single customer's and all customers' orders to study trends and buying patterns. The restaurant can tailor rewards programs and discounts to their users or have standard orders to save the user's time. And then advertising that is targeted to customers based on stored shopping records can be lucrative. Businesses do this all the time. So, like, when you're cruising around on social media and then all of a sudden, things pop up that you search for, that kind of stuff. Yeah, they keep track of you. It's all in a database somewhere. You're all in a database somewhere. So I am too. Okay, so we are going to go to our combo menu. And I cannot modify your own. I cannot modify yours. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to do the rest of this on your own because it's your own work. And you'll also turn this into me as well as part of the code. But you're going to modify your code. I said, I can't really do this with you because everyone's is different. It's so cool how everyone's was different though. Almost everyone's was completely different, which is really, I'm impressed. So you're going to copy and save your menu, and you're going to rename it combo_menu.py. Please do that. Please. There's a reason. There's a reason. So, because later on you can import these different PYs into your code, into the code that you're using. So you can use this code in another code just by going input or insert this and be done. I'll show you. It'll work. Okay. So you're going to modify your combo menus to include list and store and manage data. There are different ways to use lists and accomplish the tasks. Review the two options below. Okay. So option 1, create a list with placeholders to define the order and data types expected. All right. Option 2, create and append to an empty list. Rather than specify each index defining what data type to expect, you can create an empty list at the beginning. Each time the user makes a choice, use the .append method to add whatever the user entered in the list. All right. Any questions? Any questions? All right. The rest of this is up to you, like I said, because you all have different combo menus. So I will leave it to you. All right. I think that you can, how much time do we have? We've got like 40 minutes. Yeah. I think you guys can handle this by the end of class. So if you can't, that's what I'm saying. Ask me questions. I don't think there's any reason why you can't do this, get this done by the end of class. All right, guys.